guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Umuno Dafe Peter and I am a certified front-end web developer. Okay, so as you can see on your screen, we have a registration and a login form. Alright, so this is the tutorial we'll be doing today. So as you click on the name, it shows you an input field for name. So let's type our name now. So we have something like this. Alright, so if you click on register, it will show you that please fill out this field. Alright, so this field can't be left empty, and if you click on it again, it shows you that okay, you should fill out this field also. So let's say we put Rafi. Yeah, let's say we put Rafi. So if you click on register again, it shows you that please include an in the email address, blah blah blah. So you can see that here there must be an @ sign to recognize, because this field recognizes an email, you understand, and this one also you can see that this field recognizes a password. Alright, so if you come to this other side, it's the same thing, and we have a checkbox here. Alright, so that's what we'll be doing today. Alright, so as you can see on my PC screen, we already have our folder here. So let's open our folder. So inside our folder, we've already opened our index.html, our style.css, and inside the image file we have an image inside. Alright, so as you can see, we are using Sublime Text. Alright, so you can see in our title we have login, registration form, form validation, and you can see that I've linked my HTML to my CSS. You can see inside the href you have style.css, and on the right side you can see my CSS. I've already put this star. Star means general body, and margin 0, padding 0, font family sans serif. So now let's start proper. So inside our HTML, so let's open a class form validation. Alright, a div class form validation. Alright, so you save it as usual, right click and open in browser. Alright, this is what we have. You can see our title here. Right, so let's go back to our, so you save this one. Alright, let's come in now. So let's style our form validation. So here will be dot form validation. You know why it's dot? Because it's a class. So you know, I told you that CSS recognizes all HTML tag, but when it comes to a class, it must be specified with a dot, or if it's an ID, specify it as a word with a hash, specify it with a hash. But since it's a class, now we're specifying it with a word with a dot. Alright, so here we have height 100 VH. Now I told you about linear gradient. Alright, so RGBA transparent 0, black. Alright, so play comma, so RGBA. Alright, so put the same thing. Alright, so outside you put a comma, URL, so put your images / bg.jpg. Alright, so so let's save it. So go to your browser and view it. Alright, so this is how it looks in the web browser. Alright, so let's put display flex, align items, center, justify content, center. Alright, so come back to our HTML. So instead of form validation, we open a form tag. Alright, so inside the form tag we have an h2 inside, call it registration. Alright, call it registration. So under it I have a label there. I'll explain how label works. So inside we have a form. Alright, so this our label will be what? Name. Alright, so put a break here and we have input. Okay, input type text. We have different types of input types. We have many. We have the input type text, we have input type password, we have checkbox, we have radio, we have number, we have date, we have months, and so on. Alright, so I'll leave you to go and search for the types of inputs we have on HTML. Alright, so you save it. Let's view it on our web page. Now can you see this is how it looks like? Okay, so this is how it looks like. Alright, so this one is the h2, this one is the label, and this one is the input type text. Alright, so let's give it an ID now. Let's say input 1. Alright, so I said I will explain this label for you. So this is what label does. If I label this name to this input, alright, so let me save it. As I've not labeled it yet to the input. You can see that if I type the input, if I type something now, I can type text on the input, right? Now I want to do it in a way that if I type this name, it should just come on, it should just affect the input. Now you can see that I'm typing it, it's not affecting the input, right? So now we're going to put a label. You can see label 4. This 4 works with an ID. It recognizes an ID, alright? So I've already given this my input an ID of what? Input 1. So I'll copy it and put it inside the 4, right? This simply means that when I click, because the name is the label, right? Look at the label tag and we have the name inside, right? So it means that if I click this name, it should affect the what? The input, alright? So we have labeled the input as the name. So as you can see now, if you can see it now, so if I click on the name, it affects the input. Now I can type on the input, understand? I mustn't click on the input. If I click on the input, it affects it. But if I click on the name, it also affects the input. So that's the work of the label, alright? So we put a placeholder. So we put a placeholder. Let's say surname first, alright? Surname first. So you save it, and this is placeholder. So refresh it on your browser. Can you see? Look at the placeholder inside the surname. So when you start to type, the placeholder goes off, alright? But before you type, it gives you a description that your name, this is an input for your name, but your surname should come first, alright? So that is placeholder. So let's put a break here. Alright, so this one you just copy it, put it here. So this one will be what? Input phone number. Alright, so this one will be let's say 42, and we'll change this one to what? To 2, right? Now here will be enter number. Here will be enter number, right? It's still input type text. So we copy this one again. So put it there. This one will be for email. You know, I told you that we have different types of input. So here, let's just change this one to 3 and this one to what? To 3, right? It means that this one input, it has an ID of input 3, right? And this one is what? A label for input 3. So if I click on this email, it will affect the what? It will affect the input, right? As explained earlier. So now I told you that we have different types of input. We also have a what? Input type for email. Alright. So it's an input type for email. So now we also copy this one, right? Put it there. So this one should be password. Okay. So give this one, we have input type password. Also should be small letter. Alright, so this one will be 4. Sorry. So let's save it. So go to your web browser and view it. Oh, you can see name, phone number, but it's saying enter number, enter number. So we change that to enter email. I'll change this one to what? To enter password. So if I click on the password, you can see that it affects this one, right? I click on the email, affect this one, right? I click on the phone number, it affects this one. Alright. So now let's change this one to enter email. Alright. That's a placeholder. Enter password. Alright, so let's put one more. So under it, put a word confirm. Confirm password. So here should be repeat 5. Here should be 5. Here should be, let's see, you enter password. Alright. Alright, see the same input type password. So let's view it in our browser, save it and refresh it. You can see. Alright. So this one, let's give it a class name of register. Right. So this one, there should be an input here also. Input type submit. Right. So we should have a value inside. Value should be register. Alright, so save it and refresh it on the browser. This is how it looks like, right? Okay, so now let's open another form. So copy this one. So still inside the form validation, let's paste this one inside, and this one will be what? Class login. Alright, this one will be class login. So we'll change this one to login. Alright, so we just need a few fields here. Alright, so we need one for email. Alright, so let's give this one input 6 and change this one to what? Input 6. Here will be what? Enter email. So put enter email. Alright, so this one should be for password. Right, now this one is our login form now, so this one should be for password. So the text, the input type should not be text anymore, it should be password. Sorry, if you come up here, and this one should be what? Email. Alright, input type email. Alright, so this one should be 7 and this one should be 7. Now I'd already explained it that there is an input type password ID of imp7, and this 4, say the 4 recognizes an ID, so it means that this password is labeled for this input here. Alright, so if this one should be enter password. Right, so here should be login. Alright, so save it and view it on your web page. Alright, so this is how it looks. We have already displayed flex, line item center, justify content center. So now let's style our form. I'll copy this one, paste it here. Alright, so put your form. If I style form, we are having two forms here. We have this form register and form input. Alright, so if I style form, it will affect these two forms, the register and the input. Alright, we want to specify. That's where class name comes in. I want to specify. Now if I style just login, alright, if I say dot login, is a login. The login is a class name. Alright, this one is a tag and the login is a class name. That's why we are using a dot here. Alright, so now if I style the login, now it will affect only this form. Right, you get? But if I style the form, we are now having only one form inside the form validation. You can see the field, you can see the parent is form validation, right? So inside the form validation we have two forms. We have form register and we have form what? Login. So I just explained that if I want to differentiate them now, the first form I'll style dot login. If I want dot register, if I want to differentiate this other one, I'll style the what? Dot login. Alright, but if I don't want to differentiate, that's why I just put form. So me styling form now, it will affect the first form and the second form. Alright, so let's put flex basis 50%, meaning that we want, you can see that they are just together here, right? So we want them to have 50%. So you can see that from here to here is from here to this side is 50%. From this side to this side is the login 50%. Alright, so let's put a padding 0 pixels up and down, 100 pixels left and right. So now let's style the first form, which is the register. So it will be like this, dot register. I want to give it a border right. Okay, so border right should be 1 pixel solid white. Okay, so if you view it on the web page, so this is how it will look like. Can you see there is a border right? It extends from here to this side, so there is a border right here. Can you see? So you just put a border right so that we demarcate the login form from the registration. So let's go with our this now. So let's put form H2. Alright, we have H2 here, and you can see it's form validation from H2, so it will affect this H2 and it will affect this other word H2, right? So put our color orange, right? Font size 3 pixels. Text transform uppercase. We want our text to be in block letters. Margin bottom 50 pixels, and let's put a position relative. In the last class I explained the meaning of relative to you. Alright, so let's check it on our browser now. You can see the H2, they are bold and they have color of orange. So let's copy this one. Now I want to do that small arrow just beneath the H2, so it's an After Effect. All right, so we'll put our content to be empty, right? Border 10 pixel solid. Okay, so border color should be white, transparent, right? White, transparent. All right, so let's just view it, save it and view it, so you can see this is how it looks. Assume that we will not put transparent here. Let's say we put green, let's say we put yellow, all right, and let's say we put red. So this is how it will look like. So can you see 1, 2, 3, 4? All right, so we made all these ones to be transparent. Save it, refresh it. Now you can see that it's only the white that is showing there. All right, so let's put a display block. All right, so put position absolute. You know, it is an After Effect. We don't want the position. You know what I told you of position? If you remember last class, I told you that position means that we can put it anywhere in our screen, in anywhere in the website. But if you put a position relative in the parent, you can see if you give an After Effect, this automatically is the parent, right? So if you give a relative, it means that it will not go out of the parent. All right, so we don't want it to go, so we put a top 50 pixels and what's left 0. So you can see that this is top 0. Let's say we put top 0, right? So this is top 0, but we want it to come down, so we'll put a top of what, 50. You understand? You can see that it's not going out. Let's assume that we would not put relative here again. Still explaining it so that you understand. Can you see where it's starting from? Starting from the top 50 of our web page. This is top 50, all right? But now we put a position relative here. It means that it will not go out of the H2. So it's taking a top 50 from the H2, right? I see this one also is taking a top 50 from H2. Okay. All right. So let's style our label now. So it will be from label. You know, label is a tag. All right. So we want font size to be 12 pixels. All right. I want its color to be white. So save it. Let's refresh in our browser. So this is how it looks like now. Okay, so let's come back to our HTML. So let's add a superscript. So let's put a super script and put a star. You understand? So save it and view it. So this is superscript. You can see superscript is like raised to the power of. Alright, and we have another one. It's called a subscript. So subscript is sub, and this is how it will be now. Alright, so subscript is like base, like name base. Alright, but you're using a superscript here. So this one, you copy it. So copy it, come here. Right, come here, paste it. Alright, so in case you want to know how to do that, you click on a portion or on a part, you hold your control key. You can see, hold your control key, it will enable you to highlight. Alright, so the portion I needed, so I pasted it there. Alright, so let's save it, refresh it on the browser. You can see that our name, phone number, email, password, and confirm password, it has this one. So now let's style it to be like this. You know, it is inside the label, right? So it will be form validation, form label. You can see that the superscript is inside the label, just as the name. Alright, inside the label. So we'll put is a tag. Alright, so put a font size of 14 pixels. I want it to be a little bigger, and color orange. Okay, so let's save it and refresh it in our browser. Now this is how it looks. Now we want to style our inputs. Alright, we want to style our inputs now. So if I give this one input, it will affect this one, this one. If I style just input, it will affect all the inputs. Alright, and there are other ways to style. I can come here and give this one a class, right? And I'll style the class. Alright, but we are not doing it this way. We want to do it another way, right? This is a unique way. We call this one unique way. Alright, so put form validation form, put input, put this bracket. Alright, type, put your quote text. You see, it means form validation input type text. You can see that this one is input type text, right? You have input type text, we have input type text. Yeah, just two texts. So that's what we are going to do. So let's put width of 80%. Alright, we don't want it to extend to the end, so put a width of, so save it. So this is how it will look like. You can see that it's only this two that is moving, right? Because it is the two that is what input type text. This one is input type email, this one is password. So this one is affecting only this one, right? So you can see that input type text is affecting only the first two. You can see input type text, input type text. The others are not input type text. So let's style it background none. Background, we don't want the background, so put our border, to be none. We don't want any border, so let's view it. So this is how it looks. There's no border there. Alright, so put border bottom. So border bottom now, put 1 pixels, solid white. Now I told you as FFF is white. So this is how it looks now, right? Border bottom. No, we remove the border, so we'll put a border bottom, right? So let's put outline, outline none. So save it. So can you see, if I click on it now, can you see the outline? If I click on it, can you see the outline? So let me refresh it now. Now if I click on it, there is no outline. I've removed the outline. You get? So that is outline. So let's put, okay, you want to be center. So let's put margin auto. You know, I explained margin auto to you the other time. Let's put padding bottom. Let's say 5 pixels. Padding bottom is the space inside. You know, I told you that padding is the space inside a content and margin is the space outside the content. So if I put margin bottom, it means I want 5 pixel space at the bottom. That's inside bottom. Alright, so put a margin top, of 10 pixels. Alright, so put a margin bottom of like 25 pixels. Put font size, we don't want to be big, so let's give it 12, the same as the label. Color let's say white. So refresh it. This is how it will look like. All right, margin bottom, you can see that we are styling only these two, right? So now let's come back here. Now I want to style the word input type. Okay, we'll start for text. Now I want to style the email, right? So we'll come here and copy it like this. Now if we want to style two things in one, should I say one place? Allow me, let me use the word one place. All right, so I want to style it in one, okay, or let me just say region. It's better than place. Let's say I want to style it in one region, so we can put comma here. All right, put comma and put the other one. This one will be what? Input type email. All right, so let's refresh it, save it and refresh it. Now can you see, you know, in my login I have an email here, right? I have an email here, right? Oh yeah, I have an email here, right? So you can see that it is affecting it already. So you can see, meaning that my form validation, that's my input type text, should have the same styling as the word input form type email. That's the input type email, right? So which other input we have? We have password. So now let's put, so here will be comma, change this on to what? To password, right? Change this on to password, right? So refresh it. So this is how it looks like, right? This is a password, this is a password. On the right side, this is a password, right? So it have the same styling. All right, I hope you understand. Yes. All right, so now let's style our submit. You understand? If you look closely, we see that all these are styled, but our submit button is not looking nice. So now let's style our submit. So it will be like this now. All right, so copy one of these, so put it here. So it will be input type. Okay, should we use submit, or let's just do something different? Let's use value now, right? So let's put a value here, right? You know, input value register. All right, so let's put in block letters now, register. All right, so want to affect only register. You know, if I put input type submit, it will affect this other submit, right? So but I want it to affect only this one. So now let's do something now. So let's put background white. All right, so let's put padding. You know what I told you about padding? Inside, the form is space inside, 10 pixels top and down, 20 pixels left and right. So let's see it. So you refresh it and view it on the browser. You can see that it's only this one that is moving, right? Although we have two input type text, but we not style the type text, rather we style the word value. You know, if we check here, it has a value of login, and here it has a value of so we style the value of register, right? So it's reflecting, is affecting only this one. If you have styled the type text, let's say we style type text, no sorry, you should type submit, right? Type submit. So save it and refresh it. You can see that both of them is affected, right? So but I don't know what we want to do now. All right, we want to use this one. So you can see we have border 1 pixel solid white. All right, so we have color none. All right, we have font weight. All right, bold. We have cursor, pointer. All right, we have so we're going to give it a over. So let's put the transition 0.5 3 seconds, right? So this is how it looks like, right? So now let's put over here. So I copy this one, so let's put our over here. So in our over, we want our background to be none. We don't want background. As we over on it, we don't want any background. We want our border, so kindly copy this one. So we want our border to be solid orange now, right? I want our text, our color, to be orange. All right, so go back and view it. Now once we over on it, this is how it will look like, right? So this one is so simple. Just copy it from here like this and paste it under. So here should be what? Login. Alright, so we change this one to login and change this one to what? Login. Alright, so we just want to change a few things. So here will be background none. So here will be 1 pixel solid orange. So here will be color. Did I put color none? So here should be black, not none. Alright, so this one should be orange. Okay, alright, so here now this one should be white, right? And this one should be black. Alright, so let's use a color code for black, and this one should be alright, solid white. Let's give this one white since the background is white. Okay, so this is how it will look like, right? So this one, once we over on it, it should turn to this one. This one, once we over on it, it will turn to this one. Alright, so I think we are getting there. So in our login input, so let's put one input here, and we'll call it input type checkbox. So if you like, you remove this one inside. So input type checkbox. Alright, so let's put a span. Span is the tag, and put remember password. Sorry, remember password. Okay, so let's view it now again. Now we can see the checkbox, right? But let's put a break here. Okay, break. So refresh it, save it. You can see it is done now. So let's style it now. Alright, so let's put so save it, come here and put form from span. Alright, so put a font size of 13 pixels, color white, margin left, margin left 5 pixels. You can see this is the span, is beside the checkbox. So you put a margin left, so we want a space, you understand? So you can see, if you look closely, you see that it's closed, right? So let's refresh it now. Can you see there's a padding there? So let's just put in this our login, it's very close to it, so let's just put margin top 20 pixels. All right, now we want our login to have a margin top, a space at the top, 20 pixels. So you can see that. Now remember one last thing, let's go back here. So we can just type anything here. Also we can type anything here. Also we can type anything. Well, click submit. You can see submit. You can see. Alright, it won't recognize it yet. It won't recognize it yet. So for it to be recognized, let's come back here. So inside all our tag, let's put a required. You understand? So that the submit, the reason we are putting required is that the submit. So once we click on submit, it will recognize it that okay, this one is a required tag, or this one is an there's a required tag. This one is an email input. This one is for text. This one is for password. All right. So we just come here and put. So I'm putting them. All right. Inside the input. Okay. Yeah. Inside the input. So inside the input tag. All right. So let's just put required. All right. So save it. Save it. View it. Okay, refresh it. So once I click on this one now, can you see? Please fill out this input. If I not put the required, it won't work that way. All right. Let's say I fill this one now. My name there. All right. If I click on it again, to tell me fill this one. Can you see? Let's say I put this one. All right. If I click on it again to tell me fill this one. All right. So I now put this one. Put the name. Can you see? You must include an @ sign because it's an input for what? Email. All right. So this one you can see is a password. So the texts are hidden. You must fill this one. You can see. So right. So the texts are hidden and this password. So if I click on it, it will work that way. All right. So this one is email also, the same thing, and this one is the same thing. So we can put an email here. Let's see what I feel at gmail.com. Alright. Anything at gmail.com. Alright, so we'll put the password here, and these are checkbox. Remember password. So when next we log in, it will recognize it. Alright. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. So it's very simple. So just go over and over and over again and you get to understand it. Alright. So please don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Please subscribe and share this video to your friends, your loved ones, so also they will get what you are getting. Alright. So thank you so much for your time. We'll see you some other time. Peace out.